What advice would you have for Christian leaders having to hold to their convictions in a secular workplace?
That's an increasingly difficult terrain, and I want to be honest about that. And I think this is where the local church is so very important. I think central to the purposes of God for the discipleship of believers is the local church. I think we need the advice of many Christian friends around us who can speak into our lives. They know us. They know the context. A Christian attorney, a Christian barrister, a Christian, physician, a Christian nurse, a Christian in the military, a Christian, working for a major corporation in the city of London. Just about anyone, anywhere is on the front lines these days of some very difficult worldview collisions. And, I think we all know up front, there's some things we can't do. So, in the early church, Christian wisdom came down to the fact that, for example, a Christian could serve as a soldier in Caesar's army, but a Christian could not bend the knee and confess that Caesar is Lord. And so, those are two questions, and both of them are important questions. And the early church, settled the question: you can serve in Caesar's army, that can be honorable. But you cannot worship Caesar. That is idolatry. And at what point does Caesar say, well, if you're in my army, then you worship me? Well, at that point, Christians face the reality, a door's just been closed for us. Yeah. And quite frankly, it can come with devastating consequences. Yeah. And the Christian church, by the way, especially, and I'm speaking to you, let's say in the English-speaking world, in the world shaped by European and North American civilization, Christians are in the new posture of realizing that in our generation, there are going to be many of our own young people who are not going to be able to have some of the jobs that we hold. And in some of the professions. And right now, for instance, in Canada, there's some very hard cases having to do with, say, medical doctors being told, if you will not perform this procedure, then you're not going to have a medical license. That's the set of jaws we see, I think, coming for us. And I think this is where we rightfully, by the way, fight back with everything that's available to us in our legal and influential arsenal. But, we're not in control of this. And we have to remember that Christ's people, and I go back to Christians in Rome in the first century, Christ's people kind of were born into this problem. So evidently, we're called to be faithful.
Yeah. We can think of Daniel as well, can't we? Another similar
Absolutely
example. Yeah.
Absolutely.